What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to Sforgo. And today we get to address the elephant in the room, which is Gwenpool, aka Mrs. Paywall, which is pretty unfortunate because the uniform that we got prior to this one was also a paywall uniform. And this one here definitely rubbed a lot of players the wrong way, but now we actually have a tier 3 available. And it turns out that Gwenpool is, well, I mean, just to say it bluntly, guys, she's pretty damn godly. She's an amazing character. I've seen lots of runs with her. She's easily capable of doing, if you have enough Pierce on your account, doing over stage 60 against Mephisto, which is nutty. I mean, she is strong, and that's with a mighty obelisk. That's not with a brilliant, a mighty. There are not very many characters in this game that have that kind of power. In fact, very, very few. And it's because they did such a good job with this character, which is kind of a shame when it regards someone like Deadpool, right? It's awesome that they did a good job for this uniform because in one way, because you actually pay for it, $20 at a minimum, you're actually getting your money's worth out of it. So for the people that were able to buy this uniform, they're going to be really, really happy with her. She's super strong, very proc friendly, very easy to play, has a lot of great survivability, a really godly character, and she looks pretty freaking awesome to boot, right? She's a cool looking character. I still love these skates, and honestly, she looks pretty cool as Deadpool. As far as the build, guys, she's just tier 2. Unfortunately, I don't have any books to level her up because I actually recently tier 3'd Hawkeye. So it's going to be a while before I can do that, and I really do hate doing reviews about tier 2 characters because it really doesn't represent their power, but man, she really is godly, guys. Even at tier 2, she's godly, but if you're going to spend $20 on a uniform, of any uniform, then obviously you're going to want to be able to use them in World Boss Legend, and she will be a worthy purchase. Deadpool is always available in the game, and if you do buy him, and he has that leadership that gives her increase of all attack by 40% and increase of boss types to, guess who? Gwenpool, then yeah, it's just going to make her even more godly. And as far as my build, she has 19,000 physical attack. Her stats are terrible, guys. She has max attack speed, crit rates at 51. Her critical damage is only at 140%, and her ignore defense is at 49. Well, ignore defense is pretty much close enough, and she does have the agility tag, so you can actually use her in speed female. You can use her in the agility tag restrictions for Null and Mephisto, which is, I mean, it means you're going to be able to use this character quite a bit throughout the game. Again, though, she is a paywall. There are other characters that fit this description, like Spider-Man, who are godly, Hawkeye, who are godly, right? That are not paywalls. You don't have to spend money on them. And she does have max skill cooldown. Her dodge is actually at 70%, or actually about 71%, which is going to increase her survivability on top of the heals that she has. I don't have any Urus on her, guys. When it comes to tier 2 characters and reviews, I just do the bare minimum build because honestly, when you have over 20% Pierce, and in my case, I have 22% Pierce, World Boss Ultimate really just becomes an ultimate joke. It just becomes a joke. Now, as far as her skills, her passive, guys, I mean, the increased guaranteed dodge for the survivability, the penetration, I mean, she probably is going to be a decent character for AC. And then she doesn't have really nothing on the 1. The 2, she has an immunity, right? Another thing about this character is you can quickly cancel her skills, which makes her even more godly because you get a lot of residual damage from all the hits from all the other skills. Her 3 gives her a damage accumulation. 1% is awesome. Really, like, it's honestly pretty amazing the amount of hits that this character does, the amount of damage she does with 1% accumulation. I mean, really, it almost seems like she has like a 2% accumulation as much damage as she does. Her 4 skill does have an all defense down, and it does have invincibility for 5 seconds. So against like World Boss Legend, against Null, she's not going to get guard broken because she's going to get super armor from this 5 seconds of invincibility. And she has 3 seconds of paralysis, which is pretty awesome because it does work on World Boss and it locks the opponents down. And this is a skill that you can instantly cancel quickly. Her 5th skill gives her an all attack by 25%. And this is what's crazy, right? Like I said earlier, I mean, she's only got a 1% accumulation and a 25% attack buff. And yet she can do some insanity as far as damage. And then her passive, which is like the Wolverine passive. And then her tier 3. Her tier 3 is pretty godly because it has a damage proc by 100%. It gives her a remove all debuff, which is going to keep her from getting stunned against Mephisto during the boss phase. She has a target dodge rate by 80%, which is really awesome, especially against Null whenever you're doing your tier 3. And you can do your tier 3 every tier 2 rotations with this character. And this all attack actually stays up. I mean, her tier 3 is pretty godly. It almost seems like Shirag power, tier 3, and then her leadership is complete trash. Now, when it comes to her rotation, there's some debates out there as far as her rotations, right? You know, what's the best way to play this character? I mean, you can instantly cancel the 3, the 5, and the 4, and the 2, and then this, or 3, the 5, and the 4, and then the second skill does a lot of hits, right? As you can see, it does a lot of hits. So some people like to do the rotation 3, 5, 4, 2. Right, you'll get all the residual damage from the 3, or the damage accumulation from the 3, and then the residual damage from the 5 and the 4, and then you just go into the 2. And then some people just think it's 3, 5, 4. Right? I've tested it, guys, and I'll show you that in a second, but the damage looks pretty similar. Every once in a while, like say against Proxima likes to move around, but against Null, and maybe not so much against Mephisto because he does move around, the opponents stay pretty much right in front of you. So I'm not really sure what's the better rotation against World Boss Legend, but in World Boss Ultimate, there really doesn't seem to be a huge difference. I'm going to be doing 3, 5, 4, 2 because I seem to have a little bit better luck with that as far as damage in World Boss Ultimate. But then her tier 3 is just, I mean, it's Deadpoolish, right? It's awesome. And her skills are just absolutely gorgeous with all the comic icons showing with the end here, the wham. I mean, this is just nice, man. The boom. I mean, it's, or poof, I'm sorry. The slash. I mean, it's so awesome that you see the text lighting up. They have different neon colors for all of them. Kaboom here. I mean, she's pretty lit, guys. She really is an amazing character. And like I said, like, you know, we always say that whenever you're going to spend money in a game on a character, that they should be worth it. And it's really debatable as far as whether or not you think it's worth it. Everybody's going to have a different opinion about this. But I think for players that are spending money on this character, especially if they love her, I mean, she's going to be worth it. She's going to be worth it to them for sure because she really is a godly character and super easy to play with tremendous survivability, right? And then when you look at her uniform effect, she does have apply to Deadpool. She gives Pierce to Deadpool, which is actually pretty cool. And then she also gets an extra chain hit damage and the extra Pierce. And for a newer player that's willing to spend a little money, she's going to be a really terrific character for them. I mean, all the hits that she does, and if you give her a CTP of energy, she already has the super armor from the invincibility. It's going to be a terrific uniform for them. It's just a shame that, you know, the free-to-play players aren't going to be able to get her because she really is godly. But guys, even if you don't get her, there are characters that are available that are super, super strong, like Spider-Man, like Hawkeye, that are going to be godly for you, that are free to play. It is a shame that you're not going to be able to get her, and I know that sucks, but there still are other alternatives that are going to get it done for you, especially in them high levels of World Boss Legend. Now, as far as the uniform options, I went ahead and mythic this thing up so you guys could look at the options. You got Bullseye, which is a good uniform for Bullseye, but it's pretty outdated at this point. Then you got Deadpool, which is definitely outdated, so that's actually a shame. And then we have the Wave uniform. I mean, a lot of people are probably going to buy this uniform in order to get the extra hero buffs, and then the Dodge. Or I'm sorry, the fourth option is Shirag, and this is a terrific uniform, so that's actually pretty cool. And then the last uniform option is Mephisto, which is a bummer because he doesn't have a tier 3 available or awakened skills, so he's kind of a useless character at this point, unfortunately, in the game. Now, as far as the rest of the build, I do have a stage 6 Power Beam Rock set. She has no artifact, and again, her artifact does give her extra damage, which, yeah, is pretty beneficial for her. And then we're just using a cold damage with 180% damage proc. Just a regular free-to-play obelisk for the character. And then her uniform obviously is at Mythic. Now, this is actually going to go pretty quick, guys. I mean, she pretty much murders. And I don't want to defeat Proxima because I'm trying to get speed books for Gwenpool. So I really want to face either Corvus, or I want to face Quicksilver, or Null, or Mephisto. So I'll show you guys what she does. She's absolutely going to murder this. I could put Deadpool in Nick Fury's place, but I'm just going to go ahead and use Nick Fury because you can actually farm for him in the story mode, right? Well, actually, Deadpool, you could just actually have the uniform as well, but I don't think it really makes a difference, especially when you see how much damage she does. So it really wouldn't matter if she had Nick Fury or Deadpool. She's going to do Insanity either way. I mean, she's probably going to do a little bit more damage with Nick Fury because he actually gives a 55% increase of attack and then a 55% damage to super villains, whereas Deadpool gives a 40% increase of attack and a 60% to boss types for Gwenpool. But we're not going to use any strikers, and yeah, again, we're just going to go 3, 5, 4, 2. Well, let me show you the damage difference between 3, 5, 4, 2 and 3, 5, 4. All right, here we go. So first we'll do 3, 5, 4. We'll get our attack buff from Nick Fury. Okay, 354. And, you know, Proxima kind of jumped out of the way, but she still got a lot of lingering damage from the 5. And we got to the middle of 13th bar. We would have actually done a little bit more damage if Proxima wouldn't have jumped away. So now let's try 3542. And this is something you'll find, even though she has paralysis on her 4th skill, this is something you'll find that will happen. Is sometimes, like if you're going against Proxima, she will jump away from you and you will lose a little bit of damage, but you'll still have all the residual damage from the 5 that's going to carry on, as you guys saw a second ago. All right, so 3542. Here we go. And again, Proxima jumped away and we actually done a lot less damage, right? And that's what I mean. Sometimes she just jumps away, the paralysis doesn't hit fast enough. So we'll try it again and see what happens here. All right, we're going to do that again, and I'm definitely losing my voice. It's cracking really bad, guys, so I do apologize for that. All right, here we go. So if I don't speak much, that's why. Okay, that was a good proc. Nice, nice, nice. Now, the thing that sucks is that Gwenpool has a long cooldown on her 5th skill. Man, this is terrible. So you're kind of running around a little bit, trying to avoid taking damage. But as you guys can see, she is absolutely murdering this thing. Easy for her. So I'm going to go ahead and pause it because I don't want to do this clear, because I want to try to get some speed books. Man, guys, I'm sorry. My voice really is cracking up really bad. So in conclusion, guys, she's an OP character. She's super, super strong. For some players, she's going to be worth that $20 marker. For some players, she isn't. So let me know how y'all feeling about Gwenpool. And I do stream on Twitch at 9 p.m. GMT+7 time. The link is in the description below. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Y'all take care and have a good one. See you, everybody.